What's good, people? Coming to you on this blessed Sunday. Actually, my birthday. But that's not why I got on here. I got on here to discuss something I've already discussed many times over. But I'm going to continue to speak this into existence until it resonates with the mass of people. The germ theory, the virus theory, the exosome theory, what they are and how they make up our medical indoctrination. Okay, the germ theory, aka virus theory. They teach that a virus is foreign to the body. They teach that, and yeah, I know I got a cigarette in my hand. I'm aware of my flaws. Aside from that, they teach that a virus is foreign to the body. It invades the body. This is completely false. The virus theory is to fuel the synthetic chemical-based industry. They make endless money on cough drops, cough syrup, pharmaceuticals, medical treatment within the ER. A virus, and this is where I've been saying months and months and months on end. I've been asking for microbiologists. I've been asking for virologists, immunologists, epidemiologists. I can't even say it now. Epidemiologists to prove this factor. Show me the microscopic picture of any one of the viruses. I mean, Zika, Corona, SARS, MERS, influenza, common cold. Show me the microscopic picture, not a model, not a theorized model, but the actual microscopic picture of what they are physically seeing with their naked eye under a microscope, what they are identifying as this virus. Then show me the microscopic picture of that virus's counter antibody. Show me those two microscopic pictures next to each other and explain to me the difference. Because I'm going to tell you right now, they can't. They are identifying the exact same thing. That's all they can see. It's called an exosome cell. And the exosome cell, they indoctrinate to call RNA genetic material. Genetic material exists in every single human being. This is what I've been telling people. If you test 10 people 10 times by what they are identifying as this COVID-19, as any virus, 100% people will test positive at least once. And this gets to the exosome theory. An exosome cell is a cell that works in harmony with our immune system. When I say immune system, I'm talking about the nerve ending system, which is majority, 70% is located in our gut. Okay, these exosome cells, their jobs are to free flow around all of our bodily fluids. They absorb toxins. They absorb foreign particles. They absorb solvents. And depending on the bacterial environment that they have to feed off of, determines what they mutate into. If they have a hydrogen-rich bacterial environment, which is bacteria, is called prebiotics and probiotics. It works in harmony with our body. It has the resources to keep us balanced homeostasis. It's the same material that charges our red blood cells, also known as mitochondria, to be productive. Okay, what happens when it has this bacterial environment of prebiotics and probiotics? It mutates this cell into an antibody. This antibody rubs against our immune system, the nerve endings, and encodes and teaches our body, our pancreas, how to create antibodies for future exposures. This is RNA creating DNA. This is the half-truth that they teach, but they don't teach you this bacterial environment, this exosome theory. And here lies the root problem to viruses in our body. We do not have this hydrogen-rich bacterial environment of prebiotics and probiotics which stem from fermentation of live vegetation. We have a highly acidic bacterial environment called Candida albicans, and it's created through a highly acidic dietary consumption. The breads, the cheeses, the milks, the meats, the sugars, all these preservatives and refined that have no nutritional properties. Okay, it creates bacteria called Candida albicans. Okay, and what our body is doing, which is a natural order of operation, it's actually in benefit of our body, because our body gets exposed to these toxins and these solvents. The exosome cell absorbs it. The bacterial environment it has to feed on is this acidic-based bacteria that mutates this contaminated exosome cell into a virus. This virus is by design to multiply by eating up the toxins, the foreign particles, the solvents that are foreign to our body that doesn't have the means to create antibodies, so it creates a virus to eat up all this foreign material, to eat up all this acidic property that is not supposed to be there, which kickstarts our mucus, the compromising of our mucous membrane, which creates mucus to coat this virus, to coat these foreign particles, and then it kickstarts all these defensive mechanisms depending on where this virus is created in our body. It kickstarts the mucous membrane. If it's in our gut, our gut starts creating, our pancreas starts creating proteolytic enzymes, this acid, this mucus, which kickstarts our gag reflux. This is our body's way of saying, we got to get this shit out of us ASAP. Just like if it's in our blood, or if it's farther through our different systems, our neurological system, our cardiovascular system, our lymphatic system, it kickstarts the temperature rise in our body, which kickstarts sweating. This is our body's defensive mechanism of trying to get these toxins out by any means necessary. Just like if it's in the throat, if it's in the esophagus, if it's in the lungs, if it's in the nose, we get mucus built up, we get phlegm, we get snot, we cough, we sneeze. This is our body's trying to expel this shit from our body by any means necessary. Okay? A virus is not foreign to the body. A virus is created by the body. Our medical indoctrination is not by design to address these and the root causes from these problems. It is by design to mask it. It's like putting a band-aid over an infection. And that's the thing, is these elite corporations who own the pharmaceutical industry, who own the mass food distribution, who own these synthetic chemical industries, you know, the pesticides, the herbicides, the chemtrails. I mean, it's infinite. I mean, the fluoride in the water, the fluoride in the toothpaste, the talc and aluminum in our deodorants and our soaps and our detergents. It's all of these are the root causes that are being masked by the virus theory, by the germ theory. Because the fact of the matter is, our bodies are walking factories of billions of organisms. When I say billions, I'm not figuratively speaking. I'm not exaggerating. Literally, billions of microorganisms that either works in harmony with our body or works against our body. And this is where, like I was saying, they create these masquerades of indoctrinations, lobbying of our government organizations to pass laws to protect these chemicals. You know, the FDA, the CDC, the EPA, all of these government organizations are lobbied to protect corporate interests of these synthetic chemicals. This isn't theory, this is facts. I mean, for those who look up, they find the answers and they connect the dots, follow the paper trails. And that's my point. We're not addressing the root causes to the creation of viruses in our body. And it has everything to do with exposure to toxic elements. It has everything to do with the balance of our homeostasis. It has everything to do with malnutrition and deficiencies. It has everything to do with mitochondria, the charging of our cells to be productive and have the resources, the materials to rebuild our cellular structure. Because that's the thing. Our bodies are magnificent machines, but we're not being taught the natural abilities of our bodies, the cellular regeneration, how every cell in our body is by design to be broken down, flushed out when dead, and rebuilt to create new. We are not taught that certain organs in our body are by design to absorb toxins. Our gallbladder, our tonsils. What do they do whenever we become toxified? And these organs become so toxified that the doctors know they're on the brinks of rupture. They're on the brinks of the inflammatory environments. They know that if these organs that are so toxified rupture, that it can kill us. That's a half truth. That is true. If that organ ruptures, it can kill us. But what they fail to tell us, our body is designed to flush them toxins out. Those organs are there to protect us. But what do they do within the medical industry? They cut these things out. Like our appendix. What they fail to tell us our appendix is for, that is a backup resource it's like a hotel next to our gut that's supposed to be inhabited by prebiotics and probiotics. It's like a backup army for our gut. So if we are to be exposed and our gut becomes overran with Candida albicans, the pancreas can create proteolytic enzymes, and our appendix can release these prebiotics, probiotic resources to efficiently and effectively deal with the Candida albicans. But what do? They cut that organ out. Just another masquerade for profit. Because if we had a real health-based medical system, they would be educating the populace to nutritional properties, to the significance of water, to the significance of sunlight and vitamin D, to the significance of physical activity. It's even down to the significance of our biochemical productions. How fear induces cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone. When cortisol is induced, when a cortisol is produced, it kickstarts the fight or flight process in our body, which totally turns off our immune system, which totally stops the production of new cells, the building of new cells, the flushing of dead cells, the removal of toxins. It stops all that because we're in a mode of survival, external survival. Okay, I want to address another subject, hydrochloroquine. This is another half-truth. We have doctors coming out and calling hydrochloroquine a cure, a prevention. It's not a cure. In no way, shape, or form does hydrochloroquine address the root causes of the production of a virus, nor does it assist in creating of antibodies, the fermentation process, the creation of prebiotics and probiotics. Chloroquine derives from tree bark. It's a natural mineral. And this natural mineral assists with flushing of toxins. Hydrochloroquine is basically a hydrogen-rich mineral. Hydrogen-rich chloroquine. So what this natural mineral does, it assists our body with the flushing of the toxins and acidic property. Hydrogen. Hydrogen is what raises pH. pH stands for potential hydrogen. Potential hydrogen in the term pH is a measurement of hydrogen molecule substance within a material. Like we'll hear it about a hair product, or a swimming pool, or an aquarium. What they fail to tell us, the balancement of homeostasis and the creation of mitochondria has everything to do with hydrogen molecules, oxygen molecules. Hey, and what happens when you put hydrogen molecules and oxygen molecules together? It creates water. We're taught that our body is approximately 3/4 water. The content of our body, 3/4 of it is water. They don't even fucking teach us the significance of drinking water in our modern day. You go to the hospital and you're sick, they'll tell you you're dehydrated. There's another half-truth. You are dehydrated. And what does dehydrated mean? D, lacking, hydrated, hydrogen molecules, lacking hydrogen molecules. So they don't tell you to go home and drink an abundance of water, stay away from acidic drinks and foods. They don't tell you to go soak in a hot salt bath. But what they will tell you, will administrate this IV drip bag And what does an IV drip bag consist of? Saline water. Saline water is salt water. When you add salt to water, it raises the pH of the water, creating alkaline water, aka hydrogen-rich water. So what do? They slowly drip hydrogen-rich water directly into your cardiovascular system, straight into your bloodstream. And what's this do? Raises the pH of your bloodstream to restore homeostasis. And when you restore homeostasis, the red blood cells go back to doing their jobs. This is another masquerading, putting a band-aid over an infection. All for corporate interest and protection of the corporate synthetic chemical-based industries. The toxic foods and the synthetic chemicals they spray on our foods, and the synthetic chemicals they put on our vegetation, in our air, in our water, in our products, in our pharmaceutical bullshit, the vaccinations bullshit. It's a bunch of masquerades. The sooner we acknowledge the virus theory as being false indoctrination, and we accept the exosome for what they are, what they do, the faster we can address the root causes to all of our plaguing health statistics. And I'm talking about the cancers, the diseases, the disorders. When we start addressing over-acidity, malnutrition, and deficiencies, the toxicity of our organs, exposure to toxic elements, the fear factors, how psychology induces biochemicals. Biochemicals can either assist or hinder our immunity responses. The sooner we address those factors, the faster we can efficiently and effectively deal with these plaguing health statistics that continue to skyrocket every year. How do we, when I say we, I mean the United States of America, have the largest funds, donations to charities like cancer organizations, like the medical establishments. How do we have so much money being sunk into all these organizations and these corporations, but still we have the highest plaguing statistics? Connect the dots, guys. Stop buying tickets to their circuses. This coronavirus is no different than the flu last year in 2019. It's the same fucking thing. Because if you notice, how many cases of flu or common cold have we seen this year? Look at those statistics. It's because under a microscope, they are identifying the same thing they identified as a flu, same thing they identified as the coronavirus 1, 2, 3, 4, fucking etc. The Zika virus, the swine flu. All of these fucking viruses are the same thing under a microscope. They classify and give the names to these viruses based on symptoms. Hence why when this coronavirus, this COVID-19 first came out, the term they were using is flu-like symptoms. They're the reason they said flu-like. Because it was the same fucking thing. Alright, guys. Get back to the root. Get back to our roots. Our roots being this shit. live vegetation. I'm not going to get deep into how photosynthesis and homeostasis are the exact same thing. It's the yin to yang. It's the same use of water, minerals, and energy. But I assure you, plants are the balancement to human beings. Get back to eating live fruits and vegetables. Learn the significance and application of water fasting. How in a 72-hour period, if we have no solids coming into our gut, that the cellular structure, that the immune system, that nerve ending, kickstarts cellular regeneration. And in a 72-hour period, our immune system is completely rebuilt. And then if you eat live vegetation, fruits and vegetables, for a week and a half after the water fast, you will have prebiotic and probiotics, because as you eat them foods, the fermentation through your digestive tract of these foods creates the prebiotics and probiotics, which will support the newly built immune system. And when our body is exposed to these toxic elements and our exosome cells become contaminated, it will feed off of the bacterial environment of the prebiotics and probiotics and mutate that contaminated exosome cell into an antibody. This is how we grow immunity. Hiding over sanitization, masks, social distancing, gloves, it's all masquerading bullshit that does not address the root causes. I just told you the fucking answers to our problems. Do your own research. Don't take blind faith in what I've said, just like I tell you don't put blind faith in the medical establishments, in the government, in religion, in any of this shit. You were born with a cognitive brain to be able to ask questions. Ask and you shall receive. The universal energy, the divine energy is unbiased. What you shall think, you shall become. Realize knowledge is key, your health is your foundation, your belief is your success, and your wisdom is your power. Don't underestimate your God-given biological abilities. Your body is a magnificent machine. You have free will to create your blessings and burdens alike. Be accountable for yourself. Be accountable for your actions. Be accountable for your thoughts. Be accountable for you, because that's the only thing and only one you're responsible for. I hope all create blessed days for themselves. I love you guys unconditionally. One love.